Okay, this is going to be a video for Exponents Day 2. What I like to do is start. We're going to be doing a couple different things here. Okay, so let's take a look at these two problems. Okay, so you got like a double exponent deal going on, okay? Now, the simplest way to basically handle this is first multiply these two exponents. So what I would have is I'll now have 6i to the 7th, 2 times negative 3, okay? 2 times negative 3 is negative 6, okay? And now I apply the power rule. So the power rule says make this an exponent, all right? Okay, so I got 6. All right, 6 exponent, negative 6. Okay, get this crazy decimal, hit this to get the fraction. That's 1 over 46656. Okay, and then I want to multiply 7 times 6 on that exponent. So it'll be 7 times negative 6, which will give me I to the negative 42. Well, because that I is negative, that's going to go down and join that bottom number. So that would be my answer, okay? So what you want to do here first is just go ahead and multiply those. So it's going to be 2i to the 9th raised to the negative 8, okay? So 4 times negative 2, that's how I got negative 8. Okay, now this is power rule, so 2 exponent negative 8. Okay, so 2 exponent negative 8. Use the fraction button, that's 1 over 256. And multiply those two, 9 times negative 8. That's going to be negative 72. Okay, so what does that mean? It means that that's got to join the 256. Okay, so that's one of the more challenging questions. Okay, moving on. I'm only going to do a handful here, and then you guys can practice. Okay, all right. Now, the next type that I like to do is the 5th, and let's do 20 I to the 11th over 30 I to the 4th raised to the 3rd power. Okay. Now, what you want to do in this case is go ahead and handle the division part first. Okay. So what I'm going to do is this is division. So I'm going to start with the division rule, which basically says divide the coefficients. So I'm going to do all right, 7 divided by 21. Get a decimal. Let's make that a fraction, which would be 1/3. Okay. Then I would do the subtraction rule, which would be 18 minus 4, which is I to the 14th power. Okay. All right. Now, you got two options here as far as how do you want to handle this. Now, at this point, I'm going to use the power rule. Okay. And so what I'm going to do, I can do this one of two ways. I can take 1/3 and make it an exponent of 5. So watch, I could do 1 divided by 3, click over here, and do an exponent of 5, okay? And I can get that as 1 over 243, okay? Or what I can do is I can do 1 to the 5th divided by 3 to the 5th. It really doesn't matter what you do. 1 to the 5th, click over here, divided by 3 to the 5th, okay? As you can see, you get the same answer either way. It's all depending on how you want to do it. I still multiply these, so I have 14 times 5, which is I to the 70. Now, since 70 is positive, that would stay up top, okay? All right, this one, okay, I would do 20 divided by 30, okay, as a fraction, that would be 2/3. So I got 2/3, and then I would subtract those, 11 minus 4, which is I to the 7th, okay? And now I got the power rule. So I would do 2/3 to the third power, okay? Now once again, you can do 2 divided by 3. Okay, click over here, then do exponent of, what am I doing exponent of? 3. Whoops, 3. No, whoops, hold on. Exponent of 3. Okay, and so I got 8/27. All right, the other way you can do it, if you wanted to, is you could do 2 exponent 3 divided by 3 exponent 3. Either way, whatever you're comfortable in the calculator using, you get the same thing, okay? And then I multiply these two, so that would be I to the 21st. Okay, all right, so that's how you would do those, all right? One more, real briefly, a new type for this year, okay? All right, let's we'll look at this one, and we'll look at this one. Okay, no, let's not do 40. Let's do 48. All right. So what you want to handle first, notice the difference between those and the last ones is these are outside of your function. So what you want to do is you almost want to handle these individually, okay? So, all right, what's the rule here? Okay, this is power rule. Well, the coefficient is 1, okay? All right. So what I would do is, for that top one, I would do 1 to the 12th. Clear these out. Okay, so that's going to be 1 to the 12th power, which is obviously 1. Okay, then I multiply those. So that's going to be -3 times 12. Whoops. -3 times 12, which is -36. So that top part is I to the -36. Okay, this bottom, it's the same thing. I'm going to do 1 to the -9. 1 exponent -9. As you can see, 1 exponent -9 is just 1, okay? All right, and then I multiply those. -2 times -9 is 18, okay? Now, as far as these 40s go, all right, 40 times 1, 5 times 1, so that's going to be 40 I to the -36 over 5I to the 16th, okay? So we do the power rule first, so it's the opposite of the other one. Power. And now I'm going to do the division rule, okay, which is 40 divided by 5 is 8. I subtract my exponents. -36 minus 18 is I to the -54. Well, what does that mean? That means that I to the 54th goes underneath, okay? So I go ahead and do this one. As you can see, the 1 to the 4th, okay? You can either put the 1 there or not. It really doesn't matter because 1 to the 4th, okay, or in that other case, 1 to the 3rd is still 1, okay? I would multiply those. That's 12 times -12 times 4, which is -48. And then that's still 48 here. -2 times 3 is I to the -6. Okay, so then it's the division rule. This divided by this, 8 divided by 48 as a fraction would be 1/6. Okay, -48 minus -6. Make sure you type those two negatives. Okay, that gives me I to the -42nd. Well, what does that mean? That means that the I to the 42nd goes underneath. Okay, a lot of different ways you can do that. you know, when it has the 1 there, these are just going to be 1s. So it's not going to change anything, okay? All right, so you guys can go ahead and practice those in Go Formative, and this is a very short lesson.